Late last night and early this morning, Americans received troubling news of the passing of former President George H.W. Bush. The 41st president passed away in his Texas home, surrounded by a host of friends and family. Governor Phil Bryant tweeted out his condolences, saying, It is with great sadness that we learn of the passing of President George H.W. Bush. He was a war hero, statesman, and our 41st president. Today, the nation and Mississippi celebrate the life and service of this great American. He and Barbara are once more together, walking the streets of glory. Governor Bryant also tweeted, I am ordering that all United States and state of Mississippi flags be flown at half-staff on all grounds of the state of Mississippi, beginning immediately for 30 days due to the death of the former president, George H.W. Bush. Now, around the country, other Americans are also remembering the former president. And while they appreciate the legacy he leaves behind, official arrangements are already being made for his state funeral. Courtney Zabowski reports from Houston.
Around the world, people are mourning the death of former President George H.W. Bush. Flower wreaths were placed on the gates of the Bush home in Houston on Saturday, the day after he died here at the age of 94. At the G20 summit in Buenos Aires, President Trump said he spoke to former President George W. Bush and his brother Jeb Bush.
And I expressed deepest sympathy. He was a wonderful man.
President Bush lived behind these flag-draped gates. He was more than just a political giant. He was a beloved member of the community who you would see at baseball games, local restaurants, and charity events.
Starting Monday evening, Mr. Bush will lie in state in the U.S. Capitol Rotunda. Today, the U.S. flag began flying at half-staff at the White House, the Capitol, and other federal buildings for 30 days. Mr. Bush served as the 41st president for one term, from 1989 to 1993. Decades before entering the Oval Office, Mr. Bush led a life of public service as a World War II pilot, running the CIA, as a congressman, and a vice president under Ronald Reagan. At his inauguration, Mr. Bush spoke of new beginnings as the Cold War was starting to wind down.
A new breeze is blowing, and a nation refreshed by freedom stands ready to push on. There's new ground to be broken and new action to be taken.
In 2011, President Obama presented Mr. Bush with the Medal of Freedom, the country's highest civilian honor. As he is laid to rest, his life and legacy will once again be celebrated. Courtney Zabowski, CBS News, Houston, Texas.